5a. 3 wave crests same wavelength as original. 3 arcs. 3 semicircular wave crests centered on middle of gap. 5b. 3 parallel wave crests on left, reduced wavelength. Angular spread must be less reduced divergence. 3 wave crests on right with reduced curvature compared with a no reverse curvature anywhere. 8i. Wave fronts in the air. Parallel to each other. Make a larger angle with the boundary than wave fronts in ice and from top left to bottom right. At least one wavefront meets a wavefront in ice at the boundary. 8ai. Arrows at right angles to wavefronts pointing away from boundary. 8ae. Acute angle between any wavefront in ice and boundary marked I. Acute angle between any wavefront in air and boundary marked R. Or, in ice, normal at boundary and ray perpendicular to any wavefront both drawn. Angle between normal and ray in ice marked I. In air, normal at boundary and ray perpendicular to any wavefront both drawn. Angle between normal and ray in air marked R. 8b. N equals speed in air, speed in ice, or N equals var, vice, or vice equals var, N. Or 3.0 times 108 over 1.3. 2.3 times 108 meters per second. 6i. 3 straight crests, to the right of a parallel to incident crests and same lambda by I. Curving round correct way below A. 6ai. Diffraction. 6b. Correct arrow perpendicular to wave fronts. 6b. Refraction. 6b. Wavelength, decreases. Frequency, stays same. Speed of wave, decreases. 7i. 1 correct ray. Second correct ray. Rays intersect above axis to left of an object drawn from axis to intersection. 7a. IAC. CB. 7b. Ray in prism refracted down less than green ray. 7b. Ray in rectangular block refracted down less than green ray. 7b. Ray leaving rectangular block parallel to incident ray. 5a. Echo. 5b. Lambda equals 7.5 times 10 to 4 m or. Lambda equals versus f or v equals f lambda in any form. Lambda equals 1.5 times 103 halves times 106. 5c. E labeled wavelength of incident wave. 3-part circles to the left of the barrier and centered to right of the barrier. Wavelengths of reflected and incident waves same. 6a. Any 2 correct rays from O through optical center and beyond. From O parallel to principal axis to center line of lens then through f1. From f2 through O to center line of lens then parallel to principal axis. Rays traced back to intersect in 2.43.6 centimeters. 6b. Magnified. Same way up as object. Virtual. 6c. 1 ray from each prism refracted towards principal axis. Rays converge to the right of original convergence on the principal axis. 5i. Straight line from clock to mirror and from mirror to eye with correct arrows. Angle of incidence equals angle of reflection. 5ai. Correct position of image. 5ae. Virtual no mark. And cannot be projected on a screen, light doesn't pass through image, 5aiv. 5b. Monochromatic light is light of a single frequency. 5bii. 5.4 times 1014 Hz or. Speed of light equals 3 times 108 meters per second. F equals versus lambda in any form or 3.0 times 108 fifths 0.6 times 10 to 7. 5i. 42 degrees. N equals 1, sin C or C equals sin 1 1, N or C equals sin minus 1 and 1 over 1.5. 5aii. Ray continues along radius of semicircle within plastic. Ray reflected inside plastic on straight edge, with angle of reflection equals angle of incidence and emerges from block along the normal. 5bi. Focal length equals 7.2 centimeters. 5bii. 2 correct rays from. Ray from top of object through center of lens. Ray from top of object that would pass through F on LHS of lens refracted parallel to the principal axis. Ray from top of object to lens, parallel to principal axis, refracted through F same distance on right of lens is F marked on left of lens. 2 rays correctly extended back to intersect to left of object and line from principal axis to top of image labeled I. 5c. Diverging lens in front of eye lens. Rays meeting on the retina. 6a. Region where particles are closer together than normal or region where there is a greater pressure than normal. Region where particles are far apart than normal. Or region where there is a lower pressure than normal. 6b. Light does not need a medium to travel through or sound needs a medium to travel through and there is no medium between sun and earth. 6c. 3,100 meters or 3.1 kilometers. V equals ST or S equals VT or 349. 6d. 1400 C, or I equals QT or Q equals IT or 3.010448103. T equals 48103 or T equals 4.810 to 2 or T equals 0.048 scene. 0625 underscore S19 underscore Ms underscore 41.pdf. 6a idea of one side of wavefront enters, hits solid first or wavefront does not all hit the solid all at once. Idea of this side slowed down first or this side delayed relative to other side. Angle of wavefront changes are different parts of wavefront delayed by different amounts. 6 by n equals sin SINR in any form or n1 sin theta 1 equals n2 sin theta 2 or 1.3 equals sin 67 degrees SINR. Or R equals sin minus 1 sin 67 degrees 1.3 or sin minus 10.71. 45 degrees. 6 BII. VTS equals C. N in any form or VTS equals C. N or 3.0 times 108 over 1.3. 2.3 times 108 or 3.0 times 108 over 1.3. Lambda equals versus F in any form or lambda equals versus F or 2.3 times 108 fifths point 7 times 1014 or 3.0 times 108 over 1.3 times 5.7 times 1014 4.0 times 10 to 7 m. Or alternative approach, lambda equals versus F in any form or lambda equals versus F or 3.0 times 108 fifths point 7 times 1014 5.3 times 10 to 7 or 3.0 times 108 fifths point 7 times 1014. Lambda G equals lambda A, n in any form or lambda G equals lambda A, n or 5.3 times 10 minus 7 over 1.3 or 3.0 times 108 over 1.3 times 5.7 times 1014 4.0 times 10 to 7 m. 0625 underscore S19 underscore Ms underscore 42.pdf. 6i refraction. 6aii waves move faster in region B or slower in region A. 6b at least one complete cycle with half the amplitude. At least one complete cycle shorter time period. 6c sound travels faster in steel, metal, solid, the rail than in air. 6ciiv equals F lambda in any form or lambda equals B F. Or lambda equals 5,800 1,100ths. Lambda equals 5.3 meters. 7a both rays straight to left of lens and top ray bends clockwise and bottom ray bends anti-clockwise. Both rays converge to meet on the centerline at the screen. 7b both rays straight to left of lens and top ray bends clockwise less than in a, and bottom ray bends anti-clockwise less than in a. Both rays converge and would meet beyond screen. 7c object closer to lens than one focal length. 7cii image same side of lens as object. Or image further from lens than object. 7ce1 from 3 of, image enlarged magnified, upright goes up, virtual. All 3, image enlarged, upright, virtual. 0625 underscore S19 underscore Ms underscore 43.pdf. 6i diffraction. 6aii wave on left half the wavelength of waves in Fig 6.1. Both wavelengths on right same wavelength as on left. Much less spreading than in Fig 6.1. 6b 3 numbers correct. All 5 numbers correct. Correct answer. 1, 4, 5, 3, 2. 6c 3.0 times 108 meters per second. 6cii. V equals F lambda in any form or lambda equals V F 96 times 116. Lambda equals 8, 6, 3.010, 9610 times equals 3.1 meters. 7a 40 degrees. 7bn equals 1.3 or seen in calculation. Sin R equals n in any form or sin 40 sin R equals n sin R equals 1 n. Sin R equals 1.3 times sin 40 degrees R equals 57 degrees. 0625 underscore S20 underscore Ms underscore 41.pdf. 5a point where incident parallel rays meet after passing through lens or origin of rays that emerge parallel after passing through lens. On principal axis or use of term paraxial or center line. 5 by enlarged virtual upright. 2 correct answers underlined. And no more than 1 wrong answer underlined. 3 correct answers underlined. And no wrong answer underlined. 5BII1 Both principal focuses marked at points 5.0 centimeters from the optical center. 5BII2 Any two construction lines from line from top of eye towards far principal focus and traced back from lens horizontally. Line from top of eye to and through center of lens. Horizontal line from top of eye to lens and traced back to near principal focus. O marked with top at intersection. 5B 2.7 centimeters. Distance 3.1 centimeters. 6A lambda equals versus F are 340 20,000ths or 340 20ths. 0.017 meters and 17 meters. 6B longitudinal wave vibration direction parallel to propagation energy travel direction. Transverse wave vibration direction perpendicular to propagation energy travel direction. Consists of rarefactions and compressions. 0625 S20 Ms 42, p. 5A3 wavefronts parallel to each other and same angles of reflection and incidence both by eye. 2 wavelengths same as original wavelength by eye. 3 reflected waves meet incident waves at barrier. 5b. B equals F lambda in any form or F equals B lambda, or F equals 1, 2 over 0.36. F equals 3.3 Hz. 5c sound or ultrasound. Compressions. 6a incident ray travels straight on at first face of prism 1. Ray reflected through 90 degrees at sloping face of prism 1 continues vertically downwards to sloping face of prism 2. Ray reflected through 90 degrees at sloping face and leaves box horizontally. 6bn equals 1 sin c in any form or n equals 1 sin c. N equals 1 sin 45 or n equals 1 over 0.707 and n equals 1.41. 0625 S20 Ms 43.pdf. 6A3 wavefronts parallel to each other. 2 wavelengths same as reflected by eye. 3 wavefronts at same angle to barrier as original. 6B second, third, fifth and sixth boxes ticked. 6C 1500 meter per second. 7A sin R equals N in any form. R equals 18 degrees. 7B light traveling from optically dense medium to optically less dense medium. All light reflected or no light refracted. Angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle. 7C ray reflected at face AB with I equals R by I. Ray refracted at face BC and bent away from the normal. 0625 S21 Ms 41.pdf. 6A2 points labeled C at the center of the 2 compressions. 6B 6200 minus 6500 Hz. Lambda equals value from 0.051 to 0.053 meters seen anywhere. F equals versus lambda in any form or 330 over 0.052 or 335.2 or 63. 6C compressions rarefactions closer or more compressions rarefactions in same distance. Less diffraction, spreading out. Because of smaller wavelength or ratio wavelength gap width smaller. 0625 S21 Ms 42.pdf. 6A blue ray refracted more towards normal at first surface. Refraction away from normal at second surface. Ray of blue light below ray of green light and diverging throughout path after entering prism. 6BV equals F lambda in any form or F equals versus lambda. F equals 3 times 108 divided by 4.8 times 10 to 7. F equals 6.3 times 1014 Hz. 0625 S21 Ms 43.pdf. 5I part of a circle, at least quarter of a circle, centered on center of gap. Waves same wavelength as incident waves. 5AII waves pass through gap remaining straight. Less no diffraction occurs. 5B 1.8 meters. Lambda equals VF or 1,500 850ths in any form. 6A principal focuses marked in correct position. 6B 1 mark for each of 1 correct ray, 2nd correct ray, 3rd correct ray and image, labeled I, in correct position with arrow at bottom. 6C real, inverted and enlarged. 6D image produced by a magnifying glass is upright, or not inverted or virtual. 6DII position marked between principal focus and lens. 0625 S22 Ms 41.pdf. 7A all the light meets at a point or is focused or intersects. All the light travels towards a point. It then diverges or spreads out from that point or point of convergence is on XY, at F the focal point principal focus. 3.0 centimeters from lens. 7b2 marked points on XY 3.0 centimeters from center of lens and one on left and one on right and each labeled F. 7c2 of these rays from tip of N drawn. Ray that seems to come from left-hand principal focus and emerges from lens paraxially. Paraxial ray to lens and then towards right-hand principal focus. Ray towards through center of lens. 2 rays traced back to intersection. And line from intersection to axis and line labeled I. 7 CII virtual and light rays do not pass through I or. Virtual and light rays only seem to come from I or. Virtual and produced by diverging rays. Virtual and real rays do not meet. 7 CE magnifying glass. 0625_S22_Ms_42.pdf. 5i ultrasound or sound frequency above audible range. Frequency greater than 20 kHz or 20,000 Hz. 5 AII 8.7. 10 to 4 m or. Equals. Versus FR. V equals F in any form. Equals 1.3. 103/1.5. 106 or 8.7. 10 n. 5b basic description of UCG. X-rays for detecting broken bones. Additional detail e.g. X-rays pass through soft tissue. And not through bone. 6a 1.9. -2.1. cm. 6b circle round enlarged. Circle round inverted. Circle round real. 6c not an intersection of rays or cannot be formed on a screen or cannot be projected on a screen or light rays do not pass through image or light rays do not meet or light rays do not converge. 0625_S22_Ms_43.pdf. 6i wavefronts semicircles or part semicircles centered on gap. Wavelength of waves to right of barrier same as wavelength of incident wave. 6 AII 1 wavelength shorter. Correct refraction. 2 direction of travel perpendicular to wavefronts. 6b any 2 from. Particles in transverse waves vibrate perpendicular to the direction of travel of the wave or. Particles in longitudinal waves vibrate parallel to the direction of travel of the wave. Longitudinal waves have compressions and rarefactions. Transverse waves have troughs and crests. 6c 1000 meter per second. Less than slanted equal value. Less than slanted equal 2000 meter per second. 6 CII molecules closer together, water has greater density. 7a ray from left-hand corner of the mirror to the eye. Angle of incidence equals angle of reflection. 7b any 2 from. Virtual. Upright. Same size as object. Laterally inverted. 7c ultraviolet, X-rays, gamma rays. 7 CII infrared, microwaves, radio waves. 0625_S23_Ms_41.pdf. 5a light, electromagnetic radiation of a single frequency. 5b angle of incidence, I equals 0 or incident ray along normal. Or all of wavefront enters block at same time. Angle of refraction, R equals 0 or no refraction. Or whole wavefront slows down at same time. 5 cc equals sin -1, 1/1.5 equals 42 degrees. Or c equals sin 1, 1, n equals 41.8 degrees. N equals 1, sin c or c equals sin 1, 1, n, or c equals 41.8 degrees. 5d all light is reflected. Theta, angle of incidence greater than c critical angle. 5dii all light is reflected or reflected ray at 90 degrees to incident ray or reflected ray is parallel to original ray. 6a wavelength equals 0.16 meters. V equals F or equals versus F or equals 3 and 108/1, 9109. 6b microwaves only need short aerials, antennas. Microwaves penetrate some walls. 6c labeled diagram of digital signal with blocks of high 1 and low 0 and labeled diagram of analog with continuously variable signal. Digital signal consists of 2 values OT. Analog signal varies over a range of values OT. 6 CII any 2 from. Faster data transmission rate or data can be compressed. Data signal transmitted over longer distances as signal can be regenerated. Noise easily removed from signal data or signal can be regenerated. 0625_S23_Ms_42.pdf. 6 AP waves, longitudinal. S waves, transverse. 6b 1600 meters or 1.6 kilometers or. V equals F or equals versus F. Equals 7.2 1000 4.5 or equals 1.610 n or equals 7 2/4.5. 7a normal drawn in correct position and at right angles to the surface. 7b 22 degrees or I equals 34 degrees. N equals sin e sin r or r equals sin 1 sin e n or sin r equals sin 34 over 1.47 or sin r equals 0.38. 7c 3.0108 meters per second. 7d 2.04 108 meters per second. N equals speed of light in air, speed of light in oil. Or speed of light in oil equals speed of light in air, n. Or speed of light in oil equals 3.0108 over 1.47. 0625 underscore S23 underscore Ms underscore 43.pdf. 4i2 correct rays extended back towards the intersection. Extended rays intersect. Image drawn from intersection to principal axis and base of image lies in correct range. 4ai circles around. Enlarged. Virtual. Upright. 4 long-sightedness, long-sight, far-sighted. 4BII converging lens reduces focal length of eye or converging lens brings focal point forward or without lens, rays converge. Behind back of eye, so that rays converge focus on back of eye, retina. 5I infrared. 5AII glass is transparent to visible light and some IR. Visible light and some IR can carry high rates of data, information. 5 by N equals 1.4. N equals 1 sin C or N equals 1 sin C or N equals 1 sin 45. 5 BII diagram shows that total internal reflection is taking place inside optical fiber. One or more correct reflections with I greater than 45 degrees. 0625 underscore W19 underscore Ms underscore 41.pdf. 4A at cone vibrates. Any 2 from alternating current A, C, in C. Coil, wire or alternating magnetic field. Neighboring air vibrates or vibrations passed on. Producing compressions and rarefactions, vibrations parallel to energy transfer. Vibrating at 15,000 Hz. 4b. Lambda equals. Versus F in any form words, symbols or numbers or lambda equals. Versus F are 330 15 thousandths. 0.022 meters. 4c at least 2 vertical wave fronts either to left of barrier or in gap. At least 1 wave front showing some diffraction. Approximately constant wavelength throughout and approximately 50% of gap width. 0625 underscore W19 underscore Ms underscore 42.pdf. 5I compression region, particles they closer. Rarefaction region, particles they far further apart. 5AII longitudinal oscillations, vibrations parallel to direction of wave motion, energy transfer or medium is required or cannot be polarized. Transverse oscillations, vibrations perpendicular to direction of wave motion, energy transfer or medium not required or can be polarized. 5 by V equals F lambda in any form or lambda equals versus F. Lambda equals 3,500 120ths. Lambda equals 29 meters. 5 BII frequency not changed in different medium. Audible, yes, inaudible range 20 Hz 20 kHz. 6I, light from water or light to air, I or light from coin, bends, changes direction, is refracted. Refracts, bends away from normal or angle of incidence is smaller than angle of refraction. 6AII refraction. 6AE rays do not meet at image, only appear to come from image, do not originate from image, cannot be seen on a screen. Note. 6B 3.0 times 10^8 meter per second. 6CN equals C8 C. W in any form or C. W equals CAN. C. W equals candidates B 1.3. C. W equals 2.3 times 108 meters per second. 0625 underscore W19 underscore Ms underscore 43.pdf. 6I compression. 6AII rarefaction. 6B correct wavelength indicated. 6C closer together at compression and further apart at rarefaction. Amplitude changes. Loudness does not affect wavelength. 6D more spread out further apart. Velocity, speed greater in water than air. So wavelength greater. 7A ray parallel to axis and through F. Ray through center of lens. Position of image correct and labeled. 7B enlarged and upright. Virtual. 7C different colors have different wavelengths, different frequencies refracted by different amounts or dispersion in glass. 0625 underscore W20 underscore Ms underscore 41.pdf. 6A speed changes or wave speed is smaller in right hand part of tank or waves slow down or bottom on the page. Section of wave hits the boundary first. Wave speed is smaller in right-hand part of tank or waves slow down or bottom on the page section of wave hits the boundary first. Bottom on the page, one part, one side, one section of wave slows down first and different sections are delayed by different amounts. 6 by F equals V divided by lambda in any form or 0.39 divided by 0.052 or 0.39 divided by 0.026 or 15 Hz or 0.39 divided by 5.2 or 0.39 divided by 2.6 or 0.15 Hz or 0.075 Hz. 0.39 divided by 0.052 or 15 Hz or 0.39 divided by 5.2 or 0.15 Hz or 0.075 Hz. 7.5 Hz. 6 BII angle of incidence I equals 45 degrees or angle of refraction R equals 33 degrees. V2 equals V1 times SINR divided by sin I in any form or lambda 2 equals lambda 1 times SINR divided by sin I in any form or 0.39 times sin 33 degrees divided by sin 45 degrees or 0.39 times sin 57 degrees divided by sin 45 degrees 0.30 meter per second. 9I wave light energy ray is completely, entirely reflected at the boundary between two mediums or no refraction or no wave light energy ray passes into second medium, across boundary or only reflection occurs. 9AI light must pass from medium where it travels slower or to medium where it is faster or from medium with larger refractive index or to medium with smaller refractive index. Angle of incidence must be greater than the critical angle, sin 11. Divided by n. 9b light infrared travels in fiber. Total internal reflection at inner surface or within graded index fiber. Light carries information, signal data, message or signal, light encoded. 0625 W20 mis 42.pdf. 6I1 amplitude marked correctly. 2 wavelength marked correctly. 6 AII trough labeled T. 6 BF equals 15/60 equals 0.25. V equals F lambda in any form or V equals F lambda where symbols or numbers. V equals 0.08 times 0.25 equals 0.02 meter per second or 0.25 times 8 equals 2.0 centimeters per second. Alternative route 1. V equals D divided by T words, symbols or numbers. Distance moved in 1 minute equals 15 times 8 or 120 or 15 times 0.08 or 1.2. V equals 120/60 equals 0.02 meter per second or 120 divided by 60 or 15 times 0.08 divided by 60 or 1.2 divided by 60. Alternative route 2. Time for one oscillation equals 4s. Distance moved in 4s equals 8 centimeters. So speed equals 8 divided by 4 equals 2 centimeter per second. 6C oscillation at right angles to the direction of propagation travel energy transfer of the wave. Oscillation parallel to in the direction of propagation travel energy transfer of the wave or has compressions and rarefactions or needs must have a medium. 7I total internal reflection or TIR. 7AII sin. C equals 1 divided by n in any form or C equals sin 1 1 divided by 1.4. C equals sin 1, 1 divided by 1.4 equals sin 1 0.714 equals 46 degrees. 7b description of fiber passing to site to be examined treated. Light passes down fiber to site and image returns to sensor observer. Or alternative use to endoscopy. Extra detail, e.g. laser light source, illuminated organ, image, camera type of sensor. 7c any mention of frequency. All of light same, single, one frequency. 0625 W20 mis 43.pdf. 6a molecules closer together than normal in a compression. Molecules further apart than normal in a rarefaction. Pressure higher than normal in a compression N. Pressure lower than normal in a rarefaction. 6 by 4400 Hz scene. Lambda equals V divided by F in any form or 340. Divided by 4400 or 340 divided by 4.4 or 77. Lambda equals V divided by F equals 0.077 meters. 6 BII1 speed stays the same. 2 wavelength decreases. 7A any 2 from remote controls. Infrared sensors, alarms. Specific electrical appliances. Thermal imaging. 7B any 3 from. Shielding of operator behind screen, lead apron, out of room and to absorb radiation. Shielding of other parts of patient with lead, shielding of other parts of patient and to absorb radiation. Distance from source and reduces intensity, amount of radiation, exposure. Limit time of exposure, not too frequent, max number of X-rays per year and to limit dose. Limit strength, intensity of X-ray beam. And to limit dose. 7C13 times 108 meters per second. 23 times 108 meters per second. 7 CII greater than 20,000 Hz. 0625 W21 Ms 41.pdf. 5A point where parallel rays of light meet after passing through lens. Point where parallel rays of light meet are focused after passing through lens or point through which rays of light that emerge parallel pass before reaching lens. 5B distance between principal focus focal point and optical center lens. 5C vertical line labeled L4.0 plus or minus 0.2 centimeters to the right of O. 5 CII paraxial ray from tip of O to candidate's lens and from lens to tip of I, or paraxial ray from lens to tip of I and from tip of O to candidate's lens. 3.0 plus or minus 0.2 centimeters. 5 CE fourth box ticked IE. Reversed, inverted. 6 IJ ultraviolet radiation. K infrared radiation. L radio waves. 2 correct. All 3 correct. 6 AIIL or radio waves. 6 BC equals 3.0 times 108 meters per second seen. F equals versus lambda in any form or 3.0 times 108 over 1.2 times 10 to 9, 2.5 times 1017 Hz. 6C stated medical UCG treating cancer, X-ray shadowgraph, sterilizing equipment. Statement of what happens to the X-rays, e.g. absorbed by tumor bones bacteria. Stated consequence, e.g. tumor killed or image picture, shadow photograph produced. 6 CII can cause burns, cell mutation, cell damage, tumors, cancer, damages, DNA, etc. 0625 W21 Ms 42.pdf. 6 IC in line with smallest gap between dots. 6 AIIR in line with largest gap between dots. 6 AE arrow corresponds to wavelength. 6 B 1500 meter per second. 6 CV equals F lambda in any form or F equals versus lambda. F equals 1500 over 0.12. F equals 13 kHz or 13,000 Hz. 6D statement consistent with candidate's answer to 6C. Ultrasound is above 20,000 Hz. 7 II equals 60 degrees used or seen. Sin I, sin R equals N in any form. Ray refracted toward normal and toward AC. Ray clearly refracted down in prism reaching AC with R equals 35 degrees. 7 AII 10 degrees. 7B refracted away from normal. 7C total internal reflection at X. Not refraction at X or anywhere else. Reaches end of fiber with only one additional reflection off lower internal edge of fiber. 7 CII total internal reflection. 0625 W21 Ms 43.pdf. 6AB5. Method of producing sound, e.g. clap for echo method or gun for direct measurement, SIG-gen or loudspeaker, hammer. On block. Apparatus used, e.g. stopwatch, long tape, trundle wheel, wall if using echo method, meter rule, microphones and timer or microphones and oscilloscope. Detail of measurement of long distance, e.g. measure distance between person and the wall, measure distance between loudspeaker and microphone or measure distance between 2 microphones. Detail of measurement of time or appropriate time measured, e.g. at one end start stopwatch when smoke seen from gun and stop it when sound heard, start stopwatch when gun heard, clap heard and stop when echo heard, measure time taken between clap and hearing echo, timer starts when first microphone receives signal and stops when second receives signal or measurement of wavelength, e.g. move one microphone away until 2 waves on oscilloscope have moved 1 wavelength apart. Speed equals measured distance time for direct method. Or speed equals 2 times distance from student clapping to wall time for echo method. Or distance between microphones equals wavelength and V equals F times lambda. 6b. Wavelength of light is much smaller than width of doorway or wavelength of sound. Wavelength of sound is similar to width of doorway or lambda. Asymptotically equal width of gap for diffraction to occur or larger wavelength. results in greater diffraction aura. 7i. Ray approaching left-hand face of prism closer to normal than emerging ray. Ray entering right-hand face of prism showing refraction towards normal for ray already drawn. 7 AII light of single frequency. 7 by 3.0 times 108 meters per second. 7 BII 5.8 times 1014 Hz. F equals versus lambda in any form or 3.0 times 108 fifths.2 times 10 to 7. 7 B 2.0 times 108 meters per second. Refractive index equals speed of light in air, speed of light in glass in any form. 0625_W22_Ms_4 extended 1.pdf. 5A infrared. 5 by both transverse electromagnetic travel in a vacuum have the same high speed in a vacuum. 5 BII at visible light compared with an E.M. radiation stated by candidate in 5A in terms of frequency wavelength. 5C equipment, e.g., black container, white container, thermometers, or Leslie's cube and detector. Measurements made. Warm hot water in container and temperature decreases recorded or time to reach a given temperature to cool. Or warm hot water in cube and meter readings recorded. How a conclusion is reached. Better emitter surface cools quicker. Or greater reading from better emitter surface. 5 CII appropriate quantities. E.g., initial temperature of water, mass volume of water, dimensions surface area of container, time of cooling, mass of container, shape of container, smoothness of surface, or surface area of face of cube, distance of detector, temperature of water a time of measurement, smoothness of surface. 6A light of a single frequency. 6 by angle of incidence is 0 degrees. Hence angle of refraction is 0 degrees. Or all the wavefront hits the plastic at the same time. All slows down at the same time. 6 BII 1.8 108 meters per second. N equals 1 sin C in any form or N equals 1 sin 37 degrees. N equals 1.7. VPL equals V0 N in any form or 3.0108. 1.7 or 3.0108 sin 37 degrees. 6b. Critical angle for blue light less than 37 degrees or critical angle for red light is 37 degrees. Angle of incidence of blue light greater than its critical angle in plastic. Total internal reflection or all the blue light reflects or no blue light. Leaves the glass refracts travels in air along the straight edge. 0625_W22_Ms_4 extended 2.pdf. 6I2 correct rays from. Ray from X through center of lens. Ray from X to lens, parallel to principal axis, refracted through RH focus F. Ray from X that would pass through LH focus refracted parallel to principal axis. 2 rays correctly extended back, intersecting to left of object and image labeled. IY drawn and 36 mm is less than or equal to distance is less than or equal to 44 mm. 6 AII any 2 from. Object closer to lens than 1 focal length. Actual rays do not meet at image. Image cannot be formed on a screen or image only visible through lens. Object and image on same side of lens or image on LHS of lens object. 6b or blue ray refracted closer to the normal than the green ray as it enters the prism. Blue ray refracted away from the normal as it leaves the prism. 0625_W22_Ms_4 extended 3.pdf. 6I correct direction, with angle made with surface correct. 6 AII 3 wavefronts perpendicular to their answer to I. Wavelength 1.6 cm, same as incident wave. 6b at least 2 correct arcs after the gap in the barrier. 3 circular arcs after the gap on the barrier centered on gap. Wavelength same as wavelength of incident wavefronts. 6c 6.4 cm per second or 0.064 meters per second. V equals F or V equals F or 4.01.6 or 4.00.016. 7a any 2 from. All light is reflected. No light is refracted. Occurs when light travels in a more dense medium towards a boundary with a less dense medium. 7 by x equals 48 degrees or. N equals 1 sin C or C equals sin 1. 1 n or sin C equals 1 over 1.5 or C equals sin 1. 1 over 1.5. C equals 42 degrees. 7 BII speed equals 2.0108 meter per second. N equals speed of light in vacuum, speed of light in liquid, or n equals, approximately, speed of light in air, speed of light in liquid, or n equals c v or v equals c n, or 8.310.1.5, speed of light in liquid, 0625 underscore W23 underscore Ms underscore 41.pdf. 6i any 2 from. Ray from top bottom of object, parallel to principal axis, refracted through right-hand principal focus. Straight ray from same point on object through optical center. Ray that seems to come from left-hand principal focus through same point of object and refracted parallel to principal axis. Rays traced back to intersection and intersection, image labeled I. 6 AII distance equals 35.5 centimeters to 38.5 centimeters. 7.1 to 7.7 centimeters or distance equals 35.0 centimeters to 40.0 centimeters. 6b virtual and any one from. Cannot be projected on a screen. Real light ray does not pass through image. Light only seems to come from image. 6c any one from. Long-sightedness focuses image behind retina, back of eye, or long-sightedness produces blurry, fuzzy images of close objects. Converging lens reduces focal length of eye. Converging lens puts image further away from the eye. Converging lens gives sharp focused image on retina, back of eye, or with lens rays converge on retina, back of eye. 0625 underscore W23 underscore Ms underscore 42.pdf. 5a indication of position of car along a straight line from X above and to left of road at junction. 5b incident ray from car to mirror and reflected ray from mirror towards X. Angle of incidence equal to angle of reflection. 5c converging lens to left of eye. Rays refracted by additional converging lens. Rays refracted by lens in eye to give converging rays. Focal point of rays, image on retina. 0625 underscore W23 underscore Ms underscore 43.pdf. 5a3 wave crests same wavelength as original. 3 arcs. 3 semicircular wave crests centered on middle of gap. 5b3 parallel wave crests on left, reduced wavelength. Angular spread must be less, reduced divergence. 3 wave crests on right with reduced curvature compared with a no reverse curvature anywhere.